sec, y'all. We finna check if we live.
Yeah, looks like we live.
Good, cool.
Yeah, hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
All right, double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. My brother Tazama, and
No, you good.
all right, I'm the brother Tazama. I got the brother Sha'ar as well with us.
Shalom.
And we want to get into a lesson today entitled "Duty Over what was it? Duty over comfort." Duty over comfort. Excuse me. Duty over comfort. And the reasoning why, and Shalom Makim to the comment board, by the way. But the reasoning why we want to do this lesson is last night I was doing some reading. I'm going through the book of Ezra at the moment, and as I was going to the history of Cyrus the Great, the Spirit led me to what you see here, the Josephus, and I was reading some history in the Josephus about when Cyrus allowed us to go back to Jerusalem to begin building the temple, because when you read in the prophecies, about 150, almost 200 years before Cyrus came on the scene, Isaiah prophesied through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that Cyrus would come on the scene and he would be the one that would allow us to go back to Jerusalem to build the temple. You see what I'm saying? So, make a long story short, I was reading the Josephus here, and a specific part, really stood out to me, because this is a mindset of how our people take the building of the spiritual today lightly, if that makes any sense. You see what I'm saying? So what I want to do is I want to read a certain part of the Josephus here, and we'll get some scriptures. You know what I'm saying? This Lord willing, this lesson won't be too long, but the Spirit's gonna have it go as long as it's gonna go. Did you have any opening statements?
No, let's get it.
Kind of. But this is the Josephus. This is the Antiquity of the Jews. This is book 11, chapter 1. Chapter 1. I'm gonna start at part 2 and just read down. It says, "This was known to Cyrus by his reading." This is going into how it was prophesied that he would be the one to allow us to go back to the temple. It says, "This was known to Cyrus by his reading the book of which Isaiah left behind him of his prophecies. For this prophet said that the Most High had spoken thus to him in a secret vision. My will is that Cyrus, whom I have appointed to be king over many and great nations, send back my people to their own land and build my temple." All right, that just also goes to show you the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, how this man was prophesied, 200 years prior that he would be doing this.
Right.
And Cyrus looked in he read the prophecies. He read the scroll of Isaiah and was like, damn, this is talking about me. You see, that's why it was so heavy on the Spirit to allow us to do that, because it tells you in the scriptures that the Heavenly Father stirred up Cyrus' spirit for him to do that.
Right. Yeah, just as even a footnote, when you read about the accounts of Cyrus in the book of Daniel, you read about Cyrus and how Cyrus had heavy favor toward Daniel. All right, we understand even more why Cyrus had that favor toward Daniel. He really had an affinity to a degree to the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? And again, he was aware of that prophecy and what was to take place. That's why I remember when Daniel got thrown in that lion's den, because that decree went out not to pray. Cyrus was that night. Cyrus was like, oh shoot. You know what I'm saying? And remember that morning, he rushed over to the gates and saw Daniel alive. So this goes to show you to a degree, I don't want to say an affinity, a likening. He had a likening towards us. All right.
I want to say that Cyrus was an Elamite, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was an Elamite.
And I want to say,
Elam person.
Yeah, he was an Elamite, and I want to say, this is just for edification purposes. I want to say that when you read in Psalm 83, let me see. Even when you read in Psalm 83, Elam's a nation that's not mentioned.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Which at the end of the day, we understand they're going to serve and everything, but you research them and seeing how they put the hell on us as those other nations did.
Right.
We actually had an opportunity to build when we were in captivity under the Elamites. So Jake always jokes around about who's going to have what position in the kingdom, and brothers always give Elam a task that's kind of over him and whatever the case is. Just being funny. I know I heard Yasser Wamba say that a few times.
Right. But I'm going to continue reading this. It says, "This was foretold by Isaiah 140 years before the temple was demolished." See? It says, accordingly, when Cyrus read this and admired the divine power, and earnest desire and ambition seized upon him to fulfill what was so written. So he called for the most eminent Jews that were in Babylon, and said to them that he gave them leave to go back to their own country and to rebuild their city Jerusalem and the temple of the Most High, for that he would be their assistant, and that he would write to the rulers and governors that were in the neighborhood of their country of Judea, that they should contribute to them gold and silver for the building of the temple, and beside that, beasts for their sacrifice. Now here's the point. This is part 3. When Cyrus had said this to the Israelites, the rulers of the 2 tribes of Judah and Benjamin, with the Levites and priests, went in haste to Jerusalem, yet did many of them stay at Babylon, as not willing to leave their possessions. You see, and that's the main point of why I wanted to get that point, is because it tells you that when we got the decree to go back to Jerusalem to build the temple, it said many Jews, many of our people desired to stay back in Babylon because they had many great possessions. You see, and when you look at it today, that's like how I'll say Jake that doesn't know that they're Israelites take this truth, as well as Jake that know that they're Israelites take this truth. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if you can real quick, if you get Luke chapter 9 and start at verse 58. Yeah, I got you. Because it said that they had many great possessions. You see what I'm saying?
I got it right here.
Kind of.
This is Luke chapter 9, verse 58. And Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests.
You might have started up. Maybe like 57, 56.
Luke 9:56. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village.
Right.
And it came to pass that as they went the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest.
Right. So you had this man that was telling Yahushua, like, look, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna be a disciple, and I'm gonna follow you wheresoever you go. Pretty much, I'm down to ride with you. Right. Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. And when he said, and he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father.
Right, Lord, suffer me first to go bury my father. Right, so he said, look, Yahushua said, man, follow me. And what did this individual do? He had other tasks that was at mind that was more important to him than the ministry. Right, go ahead.
It was an excuse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of Yahushua explaining to him how he ain't gonna have no place to dwell, which is a sign of not being comforted to a degree.
Right.
You know, because as we're here in captivity, we're supposed to have the mind state like, this is home, but this ain't home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Yahushua was literally the embodiment of constantly being on the move, because we were going to have to constantly sojourn to different locations. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Apostle Peter said, make your sojourning here in fear. All right? This is Luke chapter 9, verse 60. Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury the dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High.
Right, let the dead bury the dead, man. Let that worry about itself. But you go preach the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Shai, man.
That's right.
All right, which is what we're commanded to do. What did Yahweh Shai say? My meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work.
That's right. That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 61. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home in my house.
Right.
And Yahushua said unto him, no man having not put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
Right, that's the main part. No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, there's no way that you can come into this truth and expect to do the work of the Lord with looking back into your possessions in the world, looking back at the things of the world, knowing that this place is going to be destroyed. You see, and that's how our people took the liking of the temple, because at the end of the day, when there is no sacrifice, that's when our enemies were able to come through and take us down.
That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you had the opportunity to build the temple, you had the opportunity to build the foundation of the days of old. You see, what did our people do? Our people was like, well, you know, I'd rather just stay in Babylon because I got great possessions here. I'd rather just worry about what I'm doing over here versus doing the work of the Lord.
That's right.
And it's the same thing today, man.
I got a precept.
You got it.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 40. O my people, hear my word and make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. All right, and it said in these evils. Now we understand when you read 2nd Ezra 16, it goes into the evils and the plagues that are going to bestow this place or befall upon this place when judgment hits. All right, but at the same time, we are living in the evil day. All that ain't happened yet, but that doesn't change the fact that we are entering into the hour of temptation. All right, and there's evil surrounded all over the place, man. All right, so he said in these evils, what is the mind state and the mentality that we're supposed to have, knowing that this place is full of wickedness and full of evil, man? It says in verse 41, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. He that buyeth, as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise, as that he had no profit by it. And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth, as if he should not reap. As also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, and they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers, and therefore they that labor in vain. All right, and the point again goes into how we were supposed to be pilgrims of here. So these are all different examples, because of course, once you get comfortable in a particular dwelling, what are you going to do? You're going to want to establish yourself. All right, you're going to want to establish yourself with goods, with the family, and so forth, man. Right. All right, but hey, man, this is the thing about it. This isn't our rest. Now we understand as we're here, but that don't mean you live riotously. You just drop everything and just be a hermit within the house. Right. All right, and we're here to experience alongside preaching the word, as all the great men did. But at the same time, that's why he went into the example. If you get a business, be it as so you don't have one. Meaning, if some shit was to go down, you quick to turn it down. Right. Knowing that you're a pilgrim already. That's why it was written in verse 40 that we're pilgrims here. All right, and what is a pilgrim? A pilgrim, one that just travels back and forth. Again, we're a nomadic people. All right, and we're what? We're searching. We're entering into the land of our inheritance. That's why it says in the book of Hebrews that we have no continuing city being here right now. All right. Right. That was it on that precept.
God, I got something real quick. This thing you can break down. Matthew chapter 19, I start at verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh.
And for all you, for all you Old Testament guys, man, they always talk about how Yahweh shall put himself with the Father instead of third. All right, don't want to veer off, but y'all got to explain that. All right, hey, he even acknowledged that there's only one good with the Father, man. Just as a little footnote.
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He saith unto him, which Yahweh said, Thou shalt not do murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
And he really just named the 10. All right, but the thing about it is, even those 10 commandments within themselves embody the whole law.
Exactly.
All right, and that's why he explained that. Go ahead.
The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yahweh said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor.
That's the point.
And thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions.
Right, and which also means that he didn't fully believe the man he was standing amongst.
Right.
All right, because if you acknowledge that to be the master, the son of the Most High, Yahweh, man, you'd be more than willing to put that stuff to the side.
Right.
All right, and he actually literally had his men do that back then. Yeah. But it was to further push an example of us here today of to not be into our possessions and this, that, and the third, really putting away the world, man.
Right.
All right, because as a matter of fact, I got a quick precept myself, really quick.
That's the main thing, that our people don't want to put away their so-called possessions, but you really, here in Babylon, you really don't possess anything. You see, you don't possess your home. All right, you have children, they're not with you all the time. You don't really possess anything here, man. So these people our people didn't want to go back to Jerusalem to build the temple because they had so-called great possessions in Babylon. They wanted to 10 verses tending to feeding the
That's right.
feeding the flock and building the temple so we can get the hell up out of here. Man.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. And what's your security, man? That's the abundance of riches that you would receive down here, man. Because when you have all that, you feel safe and secure. You feel at rest. Because when you're at rest, when you're at rest, you feel the ultimate sense of security because you're comfortable enough to sleep. I'm gonna keep reading this a little more. It says, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. All right, and you got a lot of jakes that really want to be here in America, knowing that all this stuff is gonna happen. All right, guys that fell out of the truth due to whatever the situation was. Hey, man, you going if you don't continue to do the work or don't repent, all right, you're going right back into those things, man, and you know about the calamity. All right, it ain't gonna be no saving you in that day. Now the thing is, we hope to be delivered, man.
Right.
All right. Now, of course, we put on the elect. We have the confidence and full belief that we are the servants of the Most High, man. But at the end of the day, man, we still gotta pray and constantly do this work so the Lord don't bug us out, man. Because that day that's coming is gonna be horrible, man. All right. That was it on that precept.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 15, and he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. See, it doesn't matter how much the things that you have. It doesn't matter how much money you have. All right, just worldly possessions that you may think that you have, that you may think it's just going to get you to where you need to be and into the kingdom. That's not what the truth consists of, man. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, as it tells you in the book of Job, it says the Lord is the one that gives, and the Lord can easily take it away from you too.
That's right.
It doesn't belong to you at the end of the day. Verse 16, and he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifulness. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruit and my goods. And I will say to my soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. You see, and that's the spirit that our people's in right now, man. It tells you, Yahweh Shah said that when the last days come, it will be as in the days of Noah. You see, where our people will be eating and drinking, marrying, and giving themselves into marriage. Right. All right, keeping their minds on their worldly possessions and their so-called worldly gains. You see, verse 20, but the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Right. You see, pretty much what he's saying is, man, at that time where you think that you're good, like the brother read in Sirach 5, when you in that security, when you think that you're in security, that's when your sudden destruction will come upon you, man. And the issues of death, the issues of life and death belong to Yahweh Shah, man. And whenever he's ready to call you back, hey, there's no stopping his hand, man. It says, then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up himself, so is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward the Most High. You see, what makes you rich toward the Most High, man? What makes you rich towards the Most High is your faith. But your faith has to be backed by works. You see? You got it. That was it.
I got a precept. This is Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 2. Then said he unto me, son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city. All right, and we understand a lot of times when Ezekiel seen those men of counsel doing that, he was talking about the corrupted Sanhedrin. Okay, that was when you had those jakes that was going off, doing a bunch of mischief and so forth, man. But really, when you just go to the point, all right, of it, we look at these people like the example of when we got the go-ahead to rebuild, and you had Jake that wanted to actually stay in Babylon, man. All right, that's wicked there.
Right.
Okay? This is Babylon we're talking about. The same, which you got your security, but this is the same place that destroyed your home, destroyed the temple, all these different things. All right, this is verse 3. It says, which say, it is not near, let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh. And there's a lot of Israelite camps that have that mind state too, man. All right? want to build all these empires down here in Babylon, and they ain't really looking for the kingdom. They ain't on the highways and the hedges. When it's cold outside, you don't see the faces of these people. It's all just a front. Okay, but what the point of it right there was, it said the city be the cauldron. And what is the cauldron? The cauldron is like a giant metal pot. All right, and then it says what? And we be the flesh. And what do you put in the cauldron? What is that synonymous to? Making a stew. You got the cauldron, you got the water, you put the flesh in there to boil, and you cook it. Meaning you're simmering and just simmering in this cauldron, this place. All right, and that's what he's likening these people to be. All right. It says, therefore, prophesy against them, prophesy, O son of man. Okay, so hey, we have a job to do. All right, prophesy against them. And you got a lot of jakes that try to say, oh man, you can't be talking about them like that. That's still Israel. Well, no, man. Obviously they ain't. Obviously they heathen. This is Babylonians we're talking about, man. These people that wanted to dwell in Babylon with all this stuff, man. Hey, they were likened to the heathen afterward, bro. Lord ain't dealing with that, man. Hey, he got bigger fish to fry, and that's to rebuild this temple. And as the brother that came with Salaki, bro, just real quick, as the brother that came up with this lesson, man, going into that, hey, man, this is the building process right here, what the priest stated earlier. All right, and you got guys that don't want to build, but want the kingdom to come. Right. You got it, bro.
That's a beautiful point. You say you got guys that don't want to build, but they the ones that want the kingdom to come in. You know, not doing any kind of work, not putting yourself out there as a living sacrifice, as the scriptures say, man. You know, could you I'll grab this real quick. This is Micah, chapter 2, verse 10.
You want me to read it for you when you break it down?
Cause I got it right here. Come on,
this is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction.
Right. It says this is not our rest here, man. All right. This isn't the place where this is the end all be all. Where this is the place where the kingdom is here. You know, we just gotta be chilling. You know what I'm saying? This is people take this place as a rest, man. You didn't come to Babylon. You didn't come to America to rest. You came to America to work. You came to America as a punishment to be a slave, man.
Good point.
You see what I'm saying? And it says, arise ye and depart, for this isn't your rest. It says, for it shall destroy you, even with it shall destroy you with the sword of destruction, man, because this place is defiled. You see, everything here in Babylon the Great is defiled, man. The food is defiled. All right, the women are defiled. Everything, we're defiled. Everything is defiled, man. You see what I'm saying? And this place will destroy you if you wrap your mind in this place. If you keep yourself in Babylon and you keep your mind here in Babylon, that'll put that spirit in you for you not to do the work, man. You see? That's why the scripture talks about in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, how, Yahweh shall rather that you either be hot or you be cold, man. You see those lukewarm individuals, the ones that just straddling the fence, those are the ones that are going to be spewed out. And those are the ones that take this place as a chill ride. You see what I'm saying? When Yahweh Shah comes back, you expect to be delivered, but you haven't done nothing. You see, really deep down inside, you love this place. You got it.
Yeah, hey, when you go into that word rest right here, that word rest in the Hebrew is pronounced nawach. And when you go into that word nawach, it means to dwell. It means a dwelling. All right, and he says, this is not your dwelling. Arise and depart. And this doesn't mean get a plane ticket and go to Israel or go to Egypt or whatever the case is, man. All right, this is a mentality. Because the time we depart, you read about that in Revelation, the 18th chapter, when we get caught up in the heavens, man. All right? The only way that we're going to depart from this place, is what? It's through the chariots. But right here, it's talking about the mentality. Not to be comfortable with the things that are down here. Yeah, you have certain possessions that are down here. Yeah, you have a wife. Hey, and to you women that are out there that believe, you got husbands, this, that, and third, whatever the case is. All right, mainly it's directed to the prophets, brothers doing the work. All right, and we're really just Israel. Okay, but yeah, you have stuff down here. But hey, the priest made a beautiful statement going into it, man. At the end of the day, all right, the things that you have down here can get you comfortable into this place and make you not want to leave, man. But this ain't the end all be all. All right, this ain't our continuing city.
Right.
This is Esau's kingdom. All right, and just real quick, and then you got it. All right, when you look at America, all right, it's really full of witchcraft and sorcery.
Right.
All right, and they put all these different colors out here and have certain slogans like just do it or whatever the case is. And if you don't have a strong mind, it's enough to get you warped and trapped within this, man, just off of the witchcraft that goes on here. This is the mistress of witchcraft. And hey, when you look at our people, you see they're bewitched. All right, by rebellion, constant rebellion, and so forth, which is what America pushes. All right, so really when it says arise ye, all right, really that means wake up from your sleep. Okay, because remember, hey, Jacob's been given the spirit of slumber. And what did Paul say? All right, Paul said is what? A high time to awake out of sleep, for our salvation draw near. Okay, so we're arising up out of the state of sleep, state of hypnos, all right, which this witchcraft in America hypnotizes you. He to command us to arise out of here. And we've been vitalized and given instruction to do that by the Holy Spirit. Okay? You got it, brother.
We got that of the Holy One, and we know all things.
That's right.
You know, so this isn't the place where it's called for us just to chill and just fall back and, you know. Now, of course, granted, you know, you have your days where you may chill and relax. I'm not saying you're not gonna have a day where you just kind of just chill out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to have it in your mind, whereas like that, building the temple was a very, very, very important thing, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a very, very, very important thing. You see, and our people was just taking it lightly, like, I'd rather just stay in Babylon. You see, but you had certain individuals, certain men, all right, that the spirit of the Lord stirred up to go out there and to build it, man. Zerubbabel, you know, Joshua, Haggai the priest, that was at Nehemiah, Haggai the priest that was out there, you know, pretty much revitalizing it at that time, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? Did you have something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Haggai?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 3.
You can start at the top.
Okay. Haggai, chapter 1, verse 1. In the second year of Darius, the king, and if I may, all right, because Cyrus had given the green light for us to build the temple, but you remember when we tried to build the temple, you had the heathen that wanted to do it with us.
Right.
All right, and we didn't allow them to do it, and that's what you see today. Other nations wanting to come and help build. All right, and that also shows you the Lord has never been with that. But anyway, you had the heathen that wanted to try to build, and what had happened right afterwards, we said no. They went and told the king, and it took us a long period of time to actually build it. Okay, we didn't really get to build it till later on. All right, when Darius got on the scene. All right, because you remember when Cyrus came, and he was the one that had taken down Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians. Okay, so you still had the Medes. Really, it was in the kingdom of the Medes was where we was actually able to do that. So that still took time to build. And throughout that time, what does Jake do? Get comfortable. All right, I just wanted to say that real quick. This is Haggai 1:1. In the second year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, in the first day of the month, came the word of the Lord by Haggai, the prophet, unto Zerubbabel, the son of Zerubbabel.
The name means Zerubbabel, which means sown in Babylon. All right, Zerubbabel was a governor of Judah, but you know, of Judah and Benjamin and Levi at that time. He was pretty much the head of the building of the temple.
That's right.
You see? Go ahead.
It says the son of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Josedek, the high priest, saying, and it's a dynamic duo right there, man.
Yep.
You know, through the spirit. It says, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, this people say the time is not come.
Go ahead.
The time that the Lord's house shall be built.
And that's the same sentiment that's happening right now. They're saying the time is not come. The time is here, you know, for the Lord's house not to be built. You see what I'm saying? They take everything as a game, as a joke, you know, party and bullshit. This isn't the time, you know, that prosperity doctrine that you hear in Christianity. They're saying now is not the time, but now is the time where each and every stone that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has set forth to be a part of this temple is being erected, man. And who is the temple now? We are the temple. All right, well, each and every last one of us are spiritual blocks that are added onto the temple, man. With Yahushua being the chief cornerstone. Go ahead.
I'm gonna read this again. I got a quick precept. Verse 2 in Haggai 1, It says, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, the people say the time is not come, and the time that the Lord's house should be built. I got a precept. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. And what are some of the main things the scoffers do? Oh, you don't got to go out there and teach.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't, y'all, it ain't about your works on YouTube. You don't got to show forth this, that, and the third. And then you got certain scoffers that say, it's been like this.
Yeah.
The Lord isn't going to come back yet. This stuff has always been happening.
It's not going to change.
All right. Yeah, back then, I was a spirit of scoffers back then, man. All right. Because, hey, if you ain't for building this temple, all right, you a scoffer. It don't matter if we believe that the day is tomorrow or if the day of the Lord is 300 to 3,000 years from now. Of course, we hope not, but it is what it is. All right. But if you're sincere, you're supposed to want to build, man. Don't matter when the day is coming. All right. Don't matter when it is, man. And just as an example, you look at Noah. Okay, Noah was told it was going to rain for a long period of time.
Shit, it was told it was going to rain.
Yeah.
He was like, man,
right. Exactly.
You know? Water coming out the sky? Like, what?
Right. So he was told it was going to rain. And then, but the thing is, it was a period of time after that. For something like you said, he didn't even see, he'd never seen before. You know? But what? Noah could have been like, man, the time ain't close, so I'm going to chill for a minute.
Right.
All right. Noah could have got comfortable down there. I mean, everybody else was living out there freaky zeeky. All right. Just as Jake was doing at the bottom of Mount Sinai with that calf, it was down there playing. All right. What does that mean? Giving into marriage and marrying, doing the same exact thing, living like buffoons. Okay. Living la vida loca, right? Scoffing, looking crazy as hell with that dang shirt tied in a ponytail, man. With the box fade, you know, that goes back. Really, they go back to Bacchus, man. You know, when you look at Jacob and crazy hair that you see today, it goes back to Greek worship. This is Bacchus. And Jake is living it up in that state. But I'm gonna keep reading. It says, verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. It's the same thing, man. It's the same mind state Jake was on back here.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna stay in Babylon just because we got good possessions here. When you got the green light to go build the temple, knowing that it was prophesied 150 years before that it was prophesied that we was gonna be in Babylon for a period of time.
Right.
70 years. And after that, you know, the Lord was gonna put the spirit on Cyrus for us to go back. It was told that was gonna happen. That just goes to show you the lack of faith.
Right.
You know, our people lack faith, man. Just like they lack faith in the wilderness. You know, they lack faith in this wilderness here, man.
Right.
You know, we getting the green. We got the green light through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah to build the temple again. You know, but our people just want to fall back and just, you know, hey, man. That's why at the end of the day, man, leave the job to the men that are going to do it.
That's right.
You know, go ahead.
This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 3. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses? And this house lieth wait?
Right. And this house lieth waste. You see what I'm saying? What house is that talking about? Talking about this temple, man, this building that we're building. Because you gotta think at this time, Haggai was actually back at the time where they was actually physically building the temple. So he was speaking of the actual temple. But reading this today, the things are written aforetime for our learning, man. Are you gonna let this house lie waste, man?
Right.
You gonna let the building of the temple of Yahweh Shah Shah, with us being lively stones, you gonna let it lie waste? You see? Go ahead.
Come on. This is verse 5. It says, now therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, consider your ways.
Right, consider your ways, man. Consider what you were part of. Consider the task that Yahweh Shah gave us. You see? Yeah. Consider the enormous amount of grace that he has bestowed upon us for us to even be able to build the temple, man. That we even notice knowledge, man. You see what I'm saying? Because everything here is going to be destroyed. It tells you to love not the world, nor the things of this world. All right, because if any man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. It tells you that this heaven and this heaven and this world as we know it is going to pass away with great heat or great noise, and it's going to pass away. So there's no need of sticking to your possession of something that's going to pass away versus clinging on to something that's immortal, something that's eternal.
That's right.
You see? Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 18, verse 20. Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy.
Right. In the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. And we're looking for mercy from Yahweh Shem Shai. But before judgment, we have to examine ourselves. We have to consider our ways. We have to consider, are we walking according to the rule that Yahweh Shem Shai has given forth to us? Am I doing what he commanded me to do? Am I being a faithful servant? Am I being a brother? You see, am I being a diligent workman? These are all things that we consider in our minds, man. Go ahead.
Hey, like the brother said, consider your ways. That's the same thing as examining yourself.
Right.
All right. As we doing this, knowing that this place is lying waste, that's what we ought to do. Consider your ways. Examine yourself. I'm gonna jump down to verse 24. It says, "Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and time of vengeance when he shall turn away his face." And that's something that we're in the grace, man. We're in the grace. All right. Now, again, we pray constantly that the Lord continues to deal with us, that he keeps his spirit on us. And again, once you constantly examine yourself, all right, trimming, doing the things that you got to worry about, all right, when that day comes, his face is going to shine upon you and you're going to be protected, man. But after that time of grace, what is it going to say? It says at the end of that verse, I'm going to read that verse again. Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end. And what are those wraths? Race wars. All right. Those troopers kicking your doors in, taking your children. Hey, a lot of people's children are going to get put to death. A lot of people are going to be eating their children. Yep. All right. It's going to be a very horrible day. That's why the scriptures say in Amos, the 5th chapter, all right, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. For what end is it of you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Right.
All right. So it's going to be a very horrible day by the time our Heavenly Father releases his wrath and brings his right hand, Yahweh to smack this place in the face. All right, I'm going to just read this again. It says, in the time of vengeance when he shall turn his face away. All right. So the Lord's face, his countenance is going to be face the opposite of the wicked, man, the wicked of our own people. All right. Because you haven't considered your ways. Examine yourself before judgment. All right. That was it on that one, brother.
That was a beautiful point, man. Because when the Heavenly Father turns his face away from this place, man, that's going to be it. That hand of grace and that hand of mercy still being extended out.
Right.
You see, this is Hebrews chapter 4. I'm going to start at the top and read down. It says, "Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it." All right, and what is fear, man? All right, fearing the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All right, fearing Yahweh Shem Shai is the principal key piece in order to getting right with Yahweh Shem Shai. It's to fear his judgment, fear his ordinances, fear his word. And who is his word? Yahweh Shai. All right, because it tells us, it says, "At least a promise being left us." And what's that promise? The promise is the kingdom of heaven. All right, being delivered from the said destruction that's to come, the perils, man. It says, of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. And you come short from entering into his rest and being delivered by taking heed into the ways of this world. You see, verse 2, it says, "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them." All right, and who is that them? All right, that them is talking about the others, or the 2/3, right? "But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it." Let's read that part again. It says, "But the word," all right, the gospel, okay, preached, but the word preached did not profit them, right? Not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. You see, so they didn't believe that going to build the temple at that time was anything of necessary proportion. You see what I'm saying? They didn't believe that going to build the foundations as is prophesied for us to do, that we would do it, was of any kind of magnitude. Just like today, our people hear the words of the Lord. They see the men of the Lord, starting with the apostles and others on down. All right, preaching His word, and what do they take it lightly, man? They take light. They take light at the judgments of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. They don't take it serious. They'll rather have their Charger. They'll rather live in a 1-bedroom apartment, you know what I'm saying, with a damn blunt in a video game. You see? Verse 3 says, For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of the 7th day on this wise. And the Most High did rest the 7th day from all his works. So there's going to be a rest for us.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? There's going to be a day where we can actually enjoy our children. Mm-hmm. We can actually enjoy living with our wives. We can actually enjoy the earth. We can enjoy the creation that Yahweh Shema Shai has made for us, but we have to work and labor to get there.
That's right. That's right.
You see? It says, I'm almost finished. It says,
hey, real quick, I'm sorry. It just made me think about this. You got to work from the sweat of your brow.
Right.
All right. That was given unto Adam. We had paradise at a point in time. All right. And through sin, we all fell, man. So what was it that the Lord told to Adam? You're going to have to work from the sweat of your brow, man. Mm-hmm. All right. And that's something that we have to constantly do while we're here until we receive that rest, as the priest that just went into. You know, just made me think about that, brother. You got it.
No, you good. That was a beautiful point. You know, okay. Actually, I'm coming up to it. This is verse 6 or verse 5. Sorry. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. You see. Again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. All right, and that's the main thing. Our people are hard-headed, man. They harden their minds to the instruction that Yahweh Shema Shai has given to them, man. That's why whenever you see somebody can't get it, and you see somebody shunning it, you see somebody being a scoffer, you see somebody resisting you, which really they're resisting the Lord. All right, the Lord has blocked their mind to be able to receive it. You see, only the election have to obtain it, but the rest are blinded to this truth, man. The rest are blinded to the true duty of the men of the Lord. You see, it says, verse 8, for if Yahweh Shai had given them rest, and this is talking about Joshua, all right, Joshua, the leader after Moses that brought our people into the land of Canaan, right? For if Yahweh Shai had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day?
That's right.
So if Joshua in that time gave us rest in the land of Canaan, why did King David speak of another rest after Joshua?
Exactly. Hey, Moses spoke of another rest after Joshua, man. All right. You remember when Moses went on Mount Sinai, he received the whole thing, things in the beginning and things at the end. All right. So he was told that they were going to go into the land of Canaan, and it was going to, he was told that they were going to do all that. All right. But he also knew that we were going to be scattered amongst all the nations again, right, and have to come back. And there was going to be a prophet that's like unto Moses, man. Mm-hmm. All right. Which is Yahweh Shai. Moses already knew these things.
Right. Verse 9. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of the Most High. And who's the people of the Most High? All right, the Israelites. All right, this isn't talking about, this lets you know this ain't talking about everybody, man. Right. When you read up in verse 8, is that everybody wasn't with Joshua. Beautiful point, brother. It was only Israel that was with Joshua. You see? Verse 10, for he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as the Most High did from his. You see? And who was the one that entered into his rest? Yahweh Shai entered into his rest. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? He ceased from his own work, as the Most High did on the 7th day. Right? Verse 11. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Mm-hmm. And that was the same thing that was going on during the time of Zerubbabel, Cyrus, in the Persian captivity, man. You see, our people didn't want to work to build the temple. Why? Because they truly didn't believe. They didn't believe the prophets. You see what I'm saying? They didn't believe that if we build this temple, that Yahweh Shema Shai will be with us in the building process. You see what I'm saying? They were comfortable in Babylon. They were comfortable serving the idols of Babylon. They wanted to eat the leeks and the garlic and things of that nature, which we're going to get. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
This is when we was in the wilderness on our way to the first rest. This is the mind state of Jake. Well, this is, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. I'm going to start at, It says, and thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led. Now I'm going to start from the top. It says, all the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe and do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh swear unto your fathers. All right, so this is the mentality that we had to have as we were getting ready to possess that land. Now, are we in that land right now? Absolutely not. So this still needs to be applied. All right, a lot of people that are Israelites will love to go and say the law says, the law, because there's particular scriptures where it says the Lord revealed to me, we were strangers until the Lord revealed to me under his law. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But really, when you go into it, the law speaks on the things that are to come right now, man, the whole room. All right, because what I got really just a real quick one, just as an example. Psalms chapter 119, verse 19. I am a stranger in the earth, hide not thy commandments from me. Okay, so these are stuff right here, like in Deuteronomy 8. We want to make sure that this stays in our mental Rolodex. All right, because hey, there's times when the Lord can wipe this all out of your mind and cause you to bug out and go back into the world, man. All right, this is an example of the law which is about to be read right here. This is Deuteronomy 8 and 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years. Remember, right? Remember. Okay? It says, and to prove thee, and to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. All right? So when we went through tribulation in the wilderness for those 40 years, and he used it as an example. All right? Just for those 40 years, Jake was bugging out, losing faith, as the brother just read the example right here. All right, and you even read it in Hebrews, it says, due to the evil heart of unbelief that they have. I believe that's in Hebrews, the 3rd chapter. Okay, so what? With that evil heart of unbelief, the Lord will strip all the goodness that you've came across within this word, man, as you're a stranger. And you're going to really become a stranger from the covenant. All right, well, I shall say from the first death. Right. Oh, second death, you know what I mean. This is the second death. All right, you're going to be involved in it. It says in verse 3, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not. Who's the manna right now? Yahushua. We've been given that manna. All right. And Jake don't want to perceive it. Right. Okay. It says that he might make thee know what man doeth. Hold on. I'm going to read that again. It says, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not. Neither did thy fathers know. All right, so what's written afterward, this has a colon after. So it means everything that's said afterward is pertaining to this manna that was given and how Jake didn't believe it. They didn't receive it. It says that he might make thee know. All right, so that, what? It says, what that man doeth, not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord that man live. So this manna right here was literally going to help you, bro. This manna, he explained this manna right here, literally helping you know what man doeth, being able to perceive these things. All right? That manna enlightened us, man. And what does Yahushua do? He enlightens us, gives us vision to see. All right? But they ate the manna and they rejected it. You know? If that makes sense, we've been given that right now, man, and that manna is being rejected. You know,
because at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father told them that He will feed them. He will give them bread from heaven.
That's right.
But the thing is, it's not necessarily the bread and the food, you know, that you live by, but you live based off of what the Heavenly Father said, what He said He was going to do.
That's right. That's right.
See what I'm saying? The word, right? Yeah. Any more on that?
That was it.
Okay. This is Philippians chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 19 and read to verse 21. It says, but I trust in the Lord Yahushua to send Timotheus shortly unto you, that I also may be of good comfort when I know your state. For I have no man like-minded who would naturally care for your state. For here's the point, verse 21. For all seek their own, not the things which are Yahushua Hamashiach's. You see, everybody seeks their own glory. Everybody wants to see God, Salaki, Satan. It is what it is. But don't, I'll read that again, verse 21. For all seek their own, not the things which are Yahushua HaMashiach. You see, everybody seeks their own glory. Everybody wants to seek what they want to do. Everybody wants to seek how they feel. You know, I feel like, well, man, it ain't about what you feel. It ain't about what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? We're in this thing because Yahweh Shema Shah called us into this thing to do His work. He is the one that is paying us. He's the one that requires. Look, okay, I'm gonna give you a talent. I'm gonna give you this amount of money a day to go do what you do. Do what I told you to do. You see what I'm saying? But our people take the duty of and the responsibility of being a servant and building this temple as a light thing. That's something that's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know that can come second. That you know I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do first, and then I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying? That's not the mindset that Yahweh Shah wants you to be in. You know, He doesn't want you for Him to be second. No, this is a duty. This is our honorable. This is our job. This is our reasonable service, man. You see, not everybody was sanctioned to build the temple and to take care of the things pertaining to the temple. You see, so that Yahweh Shah is giving us the green light. You know what I'm saying? To be, you know, to have the hammer in one hand and the sword in the other. You know, to fight these battles, to build the temple. That's an honorable service, man. You see? But everybody look at it as a very, very menial, just small task. You see? You got it.
I was in on that one.
I was in on that one. Okay. Let's see. Did you have more precepts? Okay, I'm gonna end it off on this one. This is Luke chapter 14, verse 27. It says, let's read verse 27. Whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. You see? So if you can't bear your cross, if you can't carry the burden of what it takes to be a man of the Lord, what it takes to be a servant of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, putting yourself last, casting off this world. All right, hey man, there's lots of things that we had to cast off in order to come to this truth, man. But we understand with us casting these things off, it's a bigger reward at the end of the day. We're laboring and we're working to enter into an eternal rest. You see, it says verse 28, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. You know, and this coming into this truth, man, it takes you to really sit down and, you know, examine yourself, man, and really analyze what you're a part of, man. What we are a part of. You see, we're a part of something that's bigger than us. You know, that's why the apostles and elders always go into it, like, believe like a lot of people don't really take in consideration or really seriously take into thought, how serious this thing is, man. You know, building a temple is a very, very serious thing, man. Especially this new temple. You see? I don't know what this is.
Ah, man, it's just sounds, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, that was, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot, but that was it. You know what I mean? That was it. That's the last piece that I had.
God.
You know what I'm saying? But did you have any closing remarks?
Hey, man, let's keep it moving.
God.
Let's keep it pushing, man. All right? You know, when you build, you get tired, this, that, and the third. And, hey, talking to myself, too, I haven't really been in this thing too long. But, you know, hey, at the same time, you know, it's not wrong to exhort your brothers and let you know, keep pushing. Right. Keep building. Let's keep going, man. We almost out of here. Rest is coming soon, man. The scriptures always talked about how unbelief was evil, man. And that caused Jake to bug out and just stop building. You know, you don't want to get to the point where you're smiting your fellow servant and doing other things, man, just because you think the Lord delayed is coming. He's coming, man. Gotta be patient. Gotta serve. Hey, gotta hasten the day, but at the same time, what does it say in Habakkuk? You know what I'm saying? I can't think of it right now, but hey,
wait for him to wait till you say something until he reproves you.
That's a good one too. Right upon the tables. But at the end of the day, man, just continue to work. Though it wait, tarry,
Yeah.
tarry. Though it wait, tarry.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
though
was
it's Terry, wait for it.
Though it tarry, wait for it. Wow, that's what I was thinking of, man.
Mm-hmm.
So though it waits, wait.
And what does the word wait mean?
Serve.
It means to serve, man.
That's right.
You know. Hey, but with that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
Double honors to our apostles and our elders of great millstone and taught us the truth. And much peace and salutation to the end. Shalom.
Shalom.